Okay, I will do my best to be proper. Okay, so I'm doing this video as a special request. And it's going to really concentrate on the throat chakra. Okay. All right. And I know some of you guys are like, why would you do a video discussing the throat chakra? The throat chakra is one of the most powerful chakras. Okay. All of them are unique. I wouldn't say, interestingly enough, it's kind of in a hierarchy if you look at it, there's a hierarchy to the chakras to your body. And, you know, you get the solar plex, you get the sacral chakra where it's right by the yummy area. You know what I mean? So there is a hierarchy when it comes to chakras. Okay. But the throat chakra is a very powerful chakra because it's communication, air signs. If you have air in your chart, this would, be a great video for you to watch. You should also, you know, just look at your birth chart, okay? But nonetheless, the throat chakra is powerful because it's communication. It's self-expression. Before you get a paintbrush, before you get a sewing kit, the throat chakra allows you to express yourself. It's a natural form of self-expression. So there's no outside tools needed to exercise this chakra. And this is a chakra that's really important to me because why? It brings in moolah. So a lot of singers and artists, leaders, they are aware of this chakra. Hitler knew how to use his chakra, his throat chakra. Martin Luther King knew how to use his throat chakra. And this is very powerful right now when I'm speaking on, because the throat chakra really can showcase its multifacetedness and its ability to express itself in a variety of tongues. Okay, so we're talking about linguistics. So when your throat chakra expands and grows, when it's at its heightened level, it enables you to do things that a normal person, quote unquote, wouldn't be able to showcase. So it's kind of like flexing its talent. So it's like you're Italian, but you sing French opera music. That's your throat chakra flexing. So the throat chakra pardon me, there's some interference, Capricorn. The throat chakra is really powerful because it's also associated with God. Okay. All right. Eyes have not seen, nor ears have heard. Okay. So before you can get a message, you need the throat. Okay. And this is no disrespect to individuals that are hearing impaired. Okay. Because other aspects within your chakras are heightened because it gives you an ability also to flex using your own natural body to communicate, which other people can't do. Like a gymnast, she communicates through her body. She does it well. She gets the gold. So the body is a wonderful specimen that people do not appreciate, nor do they take care of it the way they're supposed to. Now, a lot of times in my videos, sometimes you can hear my accent, or you'll hear different like voices coming out. Okay. And I know like some people thought I was acting. I never made it into Hollywood, and neither did my brother. So just stop. Just stop. I was about 18 years old. Okay. Um, Now, when I was in boarding school, I would go visit my mom in Tozerivia in South Africa. And, you know, because of the way the township was laid out, like it was really rooted. So, like, certain families lived on a certain side, and they lived there, like, I mean, since the early 1900s. So all the families know each other. So, like, my grandma's best friend, like, that's like her grandkids are considered my cousins because they know each other. And she also, interracial marriage, international marriage. Okay. So, you know, my non-genetic cousin, her name was Beryl. Okay. And Beryl was cool with this girl named Gail. And I met Gail through Beryl. I knew Gail, like, I heard about Gail, but like Gail was 26 and I was like 17 at that time. But then when I graduated, I went down and spent like 6 months with my mom, and she was working in Paarl at the hospital there. So it was just me and my cousins at the house because her dad and her mom, they ran an elementary boarding school in Muddiesburg, and he was the principal and she was the elementary school teacher, and they lived on the grounds. So we stayed, my cousin and I, we had the whole house to ourselves. So they would be gone working and we would be begging for money. And that time I was actually really I was learning how to make fat cook. I learned how to make fat cook because Oma wasn't around, but the recipe was in the walls, like when I was in the house. And I learned also how to make a cinnamon cake, a cinnamon brown sugar cake. I made that from scratch. So that was good times. I learned some shit. We didn't have heaters. We had them electric blankets and shit. Pardon my language. We didn't have heaters. We had the electric blankets to stay warm. So it was tough times. So yeah, there's a lisp now. Okay, so once I graduated, I was down there. Okay, Gail, like, I would say, pardon me, Gail, within like 4 months, she discovered she had ovarian cancer. It was very aggressive, very, very aggressive. So the community's tight, so my mom would go check on her. So when my mom came down, like, she would, speak to the family, just do checkups. And it's not weird in our culture, in our community. If you know a nurse and you're friends with them, or a neighbor's cool with them, yeah, you can get care in the hospital, but when you get home, sometimes you just need a little extra. Somebody can put you on and maybe give your family advice, like maybe do this. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing wrong with that. That's lovely to have, and it's free. you know so my mom would do stuff like that. So I've been like, I know when she would visit people with HIV, I wouldn't go. She would tell me to stay home because she would sometimes go to villages. But she's done work with the Native American communities in Arizona. But yeah, y'all just nosy about the mom. She ain't marrying none of y'all. She's not doing that. So just forget it. It's one and done. The education cost everything. He bought it for her. She did it. She ain't hoeing. To God be the glory. He's in his grave right now. I tapped that and nobody else ever will. It is what it is. He made it memorable for her. But it got to a point where I would go visit Gail, and like Paarl is like maybe an hour's drive from Tozerafia, and so I would go visit Gail, Beryl and I, and she didn't want to die in the hospital, so she wanted to pass away at home. So she was at home for about 2 months before she passed. This, you have to understand, she was 26. I used to see Gail hop out of BMWs and shit. Like, everybody knew Gail because she always was hopping out of nice cars, and she knew all the DJs in Cape Town. I didn't know nobody. Okay, I didn't know nobody. I was just like Joburg. I was born in Joburg. Like, I'm from Joburg. Like, that's how I'm all Joburg, But, Cape Town, like, that's me too, So Gail was having fun. She was having a good time. And then like she got the diagnosis, and I ain't never seen a shift like this. I've never seen anyone behave like this. And she was like calling the shots in the house. Like she was telling everybody what to do. I never seen anybody like that. She was like in commander energy. She would tell people when they can come in, when they can do this. She never ordered them around in regards to cleanliness of the room. She was really in, like, everything had to be white. I mean, they would run down to Spar to get the soap, that just to make sure the sheets were white. She wanted a white garment, and she wore her hair out. That's what she wanted. She wore her hair out. And she took the master bedroom over of her parents' house, and she had a little brother too. He was about 11. So I remember a couple of times sitting by Beryl's, hey Beryl, by Gail's bedside, and then like she would start talking to me, but it sounded like there were times it was like an older woman that was talking, and then I would hear like an older man. And then I remember one time she said something, and there was like this, it was like a big angel, like huge, like she was like, can you see it? And it was like, I'm like, I could feel it. It was huge, like it was in the corner of the room, like broad shoulders. And I'm like, and we never even talked about the description, but I could feel it. And I remember one time I was in the room to come visit her. I walked down to come visit her, and like within like 2 minutes, she told me, you need to leave. But it wasn't like it was very masculine. It was very masculine. And and it's not even that we're superstitious. We're spiritual people, so we don't play games like that. So I left. Was I scared? Absolutely. Did I do something wrong? No. But I never came in contact with an energy like that. So her voice, her throat chakra would change. She started, like, people would pray for her. She would monitor and listen to how they were praying. Like, it was almost like she could see into their heart, like their intent. And that was something my late father used to do, because in the mornings before we would go to school, we would have to pray in front of him. And nobody wants to do that. Because if you don't say thank you, Jesus, for daddy, where are you going to sleep? So you had to drop that line in there. The prayer was all about him. It was never about you. But she would start doing things like that, like to see older people, and they were humble about it. I mean, this is her family. Neighbors came too. You know, they took flowers from their gardens, they cut it, they put fresh ones in all the time. Like I'm telling you, it was clean in there. And she wasn't really fussy, but she got what she wanted. And like people started coming to her, like talking to her. They wanted inner standing and outer standing, and she would just like Aquarius energy, high vibrational. She was quick with it. Like if you asked her a question and she tell you, you know, it's like you're supposed to get it then. You know, I do all these double, triple, quadruple confirmations because there's retards that's listening. But like with her, she would slice you. So you better listen to her the first time, because if you ask her a question, she answered all your questions. You ask her one question, she really answered 10 questions in one answer. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like the communication was so universal, which is powerful because that's God energy. It's universal energy. That's where you see the flex with God when he communicates. So now this doesn't happen with everybody. Okay, in regards to the throat, some people just hear it. It's not to say that the spirit isn't within them. It's just you got to recognize the spirit is multifaceted. Multifaceted. Yeah, listen, there's a thesaurus. Don't repeat my words and have my words sounding stupid. Just get a thesaurus. It's dinosaur energy. People are prehistoric with their thinking. But her voice would change. The masculine voice is what, like, I appreciated the feminine. Not to say the feminine energy wasn't the masculine, because both energies are within one body. You get what I'm saying? So the feminine is expressing herself through the masculine energy. You get what I'm saying? But the masculine, the outcome was masculine because that's what greeted my ear. So what she put out and what I absorbed was masculine energy when she would communicate. So that was the energy that intimidated me the most. It was like it was giving her orders. The energy was giving her orders, and then she was giving, I'm hearing, the human being's orders. Now, Gail wasn't spiritual. Her parents were. Like I said, she was 26. She would go to church because we're church-going people. You know, that's one thing about us. We find church anywhere. We'll have church on the grass in South Africa. We don't care. You know. But, you know, like she was vicious. Like she crushed the Bible. Like you know, people, they get the scriptures in church and that's it. No, like she was 26 on her deathbed and she crushed the whole Bible like twice. And there were times like she would knit when she was in her bed. She wouldn't even look at you. It's like you felt belittled when you were around her. But it's an energy. It's controlled. It's powerful, heavenly control, self-control, and people are not used to that. And it's also like my interaction with her is like, because she wouldn't look at me. You know what I'm saying? That made people feel a certain type of way. But what I understood was she saw me before I even came through the door. And people get caught up in the physical, like, you don't even look at me. I don't need to look at you if I can see you already. So that's the type of energy Gail, like Gail wore glasses. Okay, Gail wore glasses. When she was on her deathbed, she took them off. I won't even call her deathbed, her life bed. Gail was, the thing about Gail, this is why older people came to see her, was because she wasn't scared. That's why people came to see her. You couldn't even talk about Gail in the house. Like, they would, but no one ever said anything nasty, of course, but it was just like, it's like she knew what you were talking about. You can step outside the house. Like, people would try to do that and shit. Like, that worked. And Gail would just look out the window like, look at this stupidity. You know, and then they come back into the house, in the room, and these people, they don't know that she knows. And, you know, fam, it's me. You didn't do that. You know what I'm saying? But you never said anything nasty, of course, because those energy is here. But I'm just giving an example. Like, people do stupid shit like that. But the throat chakra, and I've heard this before because she's not the first one. So my great aunt Nana, her name was Nana. We call her Nana. She was the first teacher there in Tozrafia, and that's my opa's sister. And she was like homies with my oma. They were, you know, sometimes that shit never works out, but she actually liked her. So my opa, he worked for the railway, and he also did farming. And then his sister, she was the first teacher there in Tozrafia. She was an elementary school teacher. She taught kindergarten. So one day she came to come visit me. And you know, Pearl and Ceres, we have a lot of vineyards there. She came to come visit me to drop off some grapes, because we get them straight from the vineyard. Because my aunt, my mom's sister, she was married to a police officer. She was a grape picker. And a lot of the white men, they like to deal with certain families. It's like almost like the tombs in Egypt. Like, only certain families are designated to protect those tombs, like the doorway. And it's the same thing with grape pickers. So they stick with certain families. And it's almost like a non-spoken agreement, because it's been done so long, generation after generation. And Mavis was the one that ended up going to Jerusalem and coming back with nothing when she went on her spiritual pilgrimage. A grape picker. She was a grape picker. And she actually, she's lucky to be alive, because she woke up. She took a nap there by the vineyards. Oh yeah, we sleep there too. Okay. And when she woke up, there was a black mamba that was going across her chest and never bit her. So she actually survived an encounter with a black mamba there in Cape Town. And so that's all she did for years. And she never was able to conceive. She had miscarriage after miscarriage. So she was a big dog lover. So they had 2 dogs. But yeah, she was a grape picker. And when her husband died, we got another John. His name was Uncle John. Well, Uncle Jan. You know, he left everything that he had for her. And she ended up buying 2 pickup trucks. And she still had the house, but she had some, you know, she did some interior decorating. And she actually ended up going to Jerusalem for her pilgrimage. We went the same year. So she went to Israel and I went to Egypt. So like 2019, Pisces were stunting. High vibrational Pisces were stunting. And she considered herself a born again as well. And she's a Pisces just like me. So I don't know why people have to, okay. But anyways, my Nana, she came to drop off some grapes and she walked with my cousin Alexis's sister. She has a little sister. She came to walk to our house to drop off some grapes. And it was so hot. And Nana is stubborn. She's stubborn. And my cousin had a car and she was like, why didn't you just call me? And she was like, no, I came to drop off. It was cold because we found some shit out. Nana had favorites. So she was like, I'm not calling you to pick me up to give your cousin grapes because they're not for you. So she told her, no, I didn't call you because the grapes aren't for you. The grapes are for your cousin. And that's why I walked, and your cousin doesn't have a car. She wasn't trifling like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, if the grapes were for you, you can pick me up. I'll give them to you. But they weren't for her. So she said this in the house, in my Oma's house. She walked up there with the grapes. And then within 5 minutes, she collapsed. And she was probably about 72 years old. No one in my family ever walked with a cane, FYI. Not even my uncle with a limp. So, yeah. You can come to us if you want to know anything about fitness. Because nobody in my family, all my loved ones, the ones in their 70s and 80s, they walked into their grave. There was no crane. There was never been in a wheelchair. My Oma's never even sat in a wheel. I think maybe she sat in a wheelchair the last week of her life. My Opa wasn't having that. Like I said, my Opa died in the house. He's like, I'm going to just take this rest. He died in one of the rooms. The same room I used to wash his feet in. He passed away in bed. Yeah, my Oma went through a lot with that. Because they went to sleep together and then he didn't wake up. But yeah, she collapsed and she wasn't breathing. So I had to resuscitate her. And during that process, my cousin bolts out the door, gets in her car to go get the paramedics because, like, she's trying, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's the hospital. There's no hospital in Tozorafia. There's like a clinic, but the hospital is in Pearl. It's an hour away. Okay, Ma. Okay. And so she actually drives down. So I'm alone. So she like drove to like the next town over to get them to us. Okay? You know, because it's beautifully rural. Do you understand? It's beautifully rural. Okay. And so I'm alone in the house with my cousin. She was probably like 4 years old at the time. Yeah, we had them walking at a young age. You got to walk. No. You got to walk. So I'm resuscitating her in front of my 4-year-old cousin. Alexis is off somewhere doing her thing. And so we're alone in the house. And that's when I came in contact with an energy. And I actually said, please don't take her. I can't tell my family. This woman died in my arms. I did not want that. So that was the first time I actually spoke directly to the physical realm and said, please don't do this. I don't want to have to tell my family. And so I ended up being able to resuscitate her, and I threw some water on her. It was like a bucket of water nearby. And the irony, can you believe? Mop energy. Hi, Nana. Um, so they get there. I take her to my bedroom. I could just say it's my bedroom. It's one of the rooms, family. And she lays. There's like a twin and a queen bed. So I had to drag her. I don't know why I did that, but like I didn't want to resuscitate her. Like I was struggling in the kitchen to resuscitate her. And so I dragged her to the bedroom to do it. And I put her on the queen size bed, and that's when she woke up. So the paramedics come bolting in. My mother, okay, yes, my mother my mother was in the area visiting a friend at the time, family friends, you know. And listen, you buy us a cell phone then. You buy us a cell phone. Don't come to me with this shit. Your cell phone can't save your ass. Why didn't you just get the fuck out of here with that shit? Why don't you learn how to run? Do a push-up, bitch. You stuffed your whole ass and cannot even do shit. Nobody believes that. That's the thing about surgeries. It makes you sicker because you can't exercise. Because they stuff you up. They stuff the body up like that. So can you imagine them being mothers? You can't, because they can't keep up. They get tired if they run because they never exercise. So imagine them getting sick. It's so quick. An apple a day and a mile keeps the doctor away. True story. They the sickest people, actually, and they'll talk shit to you in your face. It's like I look at them, I'm like, this bitch doesn't even know she's sick. You can sneeze on a hoe and she'll die. Pardon my language. But the paramedics come, my mom comes in. Now Nana, she spoke like old crispy Afrikaans. Like it was the old Afrikaans. You get the new age Afrikaans, but she spoke like the old tongue, like in the 1800s and shit. Pardon my language. You know, and it was very clean. It was very clean and very commanding when she spoke. Okay? All right. Nana was real old. She must have been like 600 years old in regards to her energy. Okay? You know, because she was bowed down to the Great One. And she was the one that would, you know, my opa and her, when they would have gatherings at the house, because they would have the indaba there, she was like very commanding. Like it was like she was on the board. She was on the table with the men. So of course, my opa and her, they dominated the conversations when they used to talk about the generations, the future. They would gather together to speak about the future. But the paramedics that came, everything was all right. And so my mom, you know, of course, fussy. She's going behind them to make sure, you know what I mean? So it's like 4 people in the room for this old lady. But she's a lady. You know? And so they're doing all of this stuff. Nana hasn't spoken. Bless you, beloved in the building. And then Nana, while they're fussing over her, my mom's sitting there checking her pulse, doing all that, going behind them. Nana turns and looks at me. I am just like distraught, trying to catch my breath. I wasn't crying during the ordeal. It was just like a train hit me. You know what I'm saying? Like I couldn't believe like this was happening. She turns around and looks at me, and she starts speaking. And then my mother starts translating. And I said, you don't need to do that. I understand her. My mother, it was like with Nana and I understood her completely. My mother was a bit thrown off. And so she just started speaking it. Because I don't speak Afrikaans like that. You understand what I'm saying? Not like that. I can read Afrikaans, you know what I'm saying? The old Afrikaans, I'm not there. You know what I'm saying? I don't have that skill set, because Nelson Mandela, my Opa, he had that skill set. That's how he got free. Okay? Got to respect the language. It's Bantu, not Bantu. So the first thing she asked me was, what do you desire? And so my mom was shocked, because when she translated, that was the first question. Like, that's the first thing that came out of her mouth. And I told her I understand her. She didn't even look at the parrot. She wasn't even like, she turned and looked at me and asked me, what do you desire? And she said, would you like to be a doctor? Do you want to be a teacher? And I didn't answer her. I just looked at her. And she was like, you'd be a good teacher. So that was the second time I came in contact with that energy. Nana outlived everybody. Nana passed away after Alexis was murdered. She was actually woken out of her sleep. She was taking a nap. And my mom's cousin had to wake her up and tell her that they found Alexis. So they were concerned about her heart at the time. I think she was heartbroken for a couple of reasons. She always like, she loved me. I loved her. You give me grapes like that. And here's the irony. I couldn't even eat the grapes. My cousins ate them all. True story. That I just couldn't bring myself to actually eating the grapes. Like, the ordeal of it all. You understand what I'm saying? Like, and here's the thing. All my cousins, they were like, oh my goodness, they're so sweet. But when I looked at them, it was bitter. When I looked at the grapes, it was just bitter. And it was in a huge ShopRite Checkers bag, the plastic bag. She put the grapes in there. True story. I didn't eat one of those grapes. I couldn't eat the grapes. I think that was a test too. But that's when I heard also the voice. I heard the voice. Yes, it will come visit you. Do I consider it a good thing? Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Because I've actually heard the other one too. And you know how, like, you hear that like that movie with Whoopi Goldberg and the late great Patrick Swayze, where you hear the ghouls and goblins. That's a real thing, because somebody had to hear that to echo it back so it can be placed in a film. So, like, that one movie is like in the catacombs. I forget what it's called, about the girl and her doctor. It was in Paris. You know, um, that oh, somebody didn't want me to talk about that. Okay, but nonetheless, um, yeah, the ghouls and goblins. You know, the energy when she's in the catacombs and you hear ooh, ah, ooh, ah, like it's just like you never heard a shriek of laughter. Like somebody's heard that in order to replicate that. I actually heard that when I was at the Studio 6 motel. And when I was staying at that hotel, the school was right across from the cemetery. I was so shocked about the town planning. Like, why would you build a school across a cemetery? The bus stop is facing the cemetery. Like where you can walk, you know, they have the sign for the children and the adult. I was just looking at it one day. I was like, look at that. And people actually try to school me on how to raise my child. People always, they try to go for that, like, because they think it's a weakness. They always do that. And I always look at them like, what were you doing when you were 3? The first time my daughter ever been on a flight, she crossed an ocean. That's love. My father did that for me when I was 8 months old, for my mother and I. I'm still the youngest one to cross the ocean. They had to take my footprint. True story. They don't do your hand when you're an infant. They do your foot. I had the baby passport. Foot right up your ass when I came in. I made my mark in the world with that one foot. Take notes. Take notes. So I would just like to say I do my best to replicate love that was given to me from my parents to my daughter. So, you know, so why would there we go. So that's that Kim Kardashian energy. So why would I not do that for her? You know what I'm saying? It's who we are. Happy Father's Day. But I do consider the energy, and here's the thing. I'm going to tell you something really deep, and it's going to scare people, but some of you guys know. Have you ever had a conversation with a crackhead? Some people are like, crackheads are so intelligent. They're very demonic. It's a demonic energy. They'll tell you about filth and then school you at the same time. I'm gonna say it one more time. A crackhead. They're in filth, but they will speak spiritual to you, and you're like, oh my gosh, this person's so intelligent. I got schooled. That's a trick right there. That's tricking right there. I can hear. See, I don't like being around crackheads because I'm talking to the devil. That's why, like, I meet people, like, they may have a certain name. I associate, it's the energy signature. Now, not everybody's necessarily like that, but 9 times out of 10, it's never wrong. You know? You asking, do I think the spelling has a important component? Yes, I actually think it does. It's so lame, you know? It's so lame. And they don't even pay me for this. Cheapskates. You hiding. I see you. Ace. And then love. Darling. Because I got it like that. Oh, somebody said, oh, she freaky. Message. I know, Drake. I know. Whew. Lord Jesus, I know. Everybody loves Drake, man. I don't think Drake even wanted like that. He's just like, please, 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 please. True story, true story. You know how many bitches holler at him? The mama, the auntie. He could fuck your whole family, but he just chooses not to. True story. You niggas do that, though. You'll fuck her and her mom and laugh about it and say it's funny. Right, though, man? Like, boss, bitch. At least he was open with it. He wasn't lying. They will fuck your mom and you. Motherfuckers. But yes, I do think the spelling does have a component. Here's the thing with forced labor. You're not getting what you want. So people in trying to push conception or inception, they're cheating, and they already know it before you do it. So it's like before it's even implanted with the egg, it's all, the message has already been sent in the atmosphere about your fuckery. And so you look like a robber when you come into the world. The child's already a thief. You get what I'm saying? Because it was built in theft. Beloved in the building, facts. So that's why you have mother lovers that's why people want to use the same name. Like even with my daughter Nala, you know how many fucking Nalas I've met in Texas? It's unbelievable. I cannot believe how many single mothers have named their child Nala. And then they've asked me how I spell it, and I tell them to fuck off. They don't even know what it means. You know what I'm saying? That's the worst part. They just see money and clothes, and that's all they see. They have no idea what it means. You know, because I loved her before she came in. I had a dream about my daughter when I was a child. I already knew when I was 16 how many kids I was going to have. My daughter in my dream, I was kind of shocked because she was caramel. I'm like, who's this? Who's the daddy? My daughter looks exactly like she did in my dream. To me, even prettier. She's prettier in person. You know, but I met my daughter, I was 16 and she was 5 years old. And here's the thing, like, we're not getting into that. All right. But yeah, like they'll follow you. Like my daughter was around me when I was in high school. Like the older I've gotten, the more I realize like she picked me. So she was watching me when I was in high school. I felt that. Because there's moments even when I walk around Texas, I'll have like an energy of deja vu of a certain time period. And then my daughter's with me, you know, she's with me all the time, you know, and it's like, this is so familiar. And it's like, wow, my daughter's here. You know what I mean? Twisted. But yeah, see, and that's the problem is they curse their own kids because they cheat them before they even get in here. But they're generational cheaters. You get what I'm saying? They're generational cheaters. There's no care in the names. It just sounds exotic and shit. You know what I'm saying? You know, they learn nothing prior to that. They learn nothing prior to even being pregnant. I wanted my child. That's my child. She deserved an opportunity. And I suck it up. And it was like, listen, I'm 31. I'm 31. I'm 31 years old. I took a deep breath and I was like, okay, I'm a mother right now. True story. I was excited. I wanted to know what she looked like. You know, I was excited. And here's the thing, like, when it comes to like children that are mixed, because people, they chase after that. You know what I mean? And it's so stupid because it's so superficial. You do it to make yourself. It's like some women, they only have a mixed race child to. You shut up. They only have a mixed race child to prove something to other people. They hide their ugliness behind their child. They know they're ugly. And some people think because the child's mixed, its beauty is universal and all people will love them and yada yada yada. But I've met some ugly ones too, man. I know. Or I've seen them from afar. I know. The nerve. We're just going to skip all them skin bumps and glue on the forehead and just let you know, bitch, that I'm doing my getting to ready video and I'm better than you. Like, I'm supposed to be blind and I just didn't see all that crap on your face. Like really? That's how psychotic and stupid some of these motherfuckers are. My mother's white. I'm automatically pretty. And this is why some of these mixed race bitches are upset, is because their white mama is a single mom. They're mad at me because my daddy, I don't know nothing about that. And my child's father, he wasn't the type of person to do that, to abandon his family. He wasn't like that. He wanted one. He didn't have no illegitimate children out of wedlock. I was 31, he was 35. And I was the first and last African woman he ever slept with. He was very and his pockets, he always had money in his pocket. His pockets were deep. He was a hard worker. He was a Pisces. He was very intelligent. He was good with computers as well. Very intelligent. He was a beautiful man. He was physically very beautiful. The most beautiful eyes. When I saw, the first time I looked into his eyes, I was like, I know who you are. I could see my child in his eyes. I said, look at this. This fool don't even know. He don't even know. He already loved me. He didn't even know. I was just like any day player. And we ended up, he ended up claiming me in Aries season. It was like March 26th. Yeah. But nonetheless, if you hear the voice, take it as a kind friend. You know, people do start seeing, some people they see them, but they don't want to see them. You know what I'm saying? And I know this because, like, especially drug addicts, they want to be around people a lot. They always want to be around people. Like, have you met people like that? Like, their house is always full and shit, and they got people around. Like, they always got to be in big groups, beloved in the building. Like, it's like they can feel it. You know, I don't need to go to parties all the time. Why you think people throw parties all the time? They don't want to be alone with their thoughts. Darling. Hey, Miss Gloria, how you doing? Hope you're well. Better late than never. Smooches, lovey. No shade, Diana Ross. No shade. Truly. No shade to you. I did go to your concert, so you don't have to worry about me being nasty to you. Sometimes you can feel them walk up to you, can't you? Some people do. It's like you feel something walk up to you. Like, literally, you can feel the brisk. You know what I'm saying? And see, right now, like, there is no veil. And some people can actually hear. Not everybody can hear, though. Certain people have certain vibrations they hear. There's certain people that I can hear, and they want me to hear their conversations. There's certain people in Hollywood, my spirit and their spirit, they're friends. So I can, if they want me to hear something, I can hear it. You know what I mean? Like I said, like, I'm not knocking on your psyche's door to break into your mind. You know what I mean? God doesn't give a gift like that for you to do that. It doesn't work like that. That's why I don't play the lottery. I don't do that. That's cheating for somebody like me. And plus, I have to give the glory to God so people know that it was all him and not me. Because good labor, it's all about love. It's a labor of love. That's what don't appreciate and understand in regards to relationships, and them being long lasting. It's that it's a labor of love. And motherfuckers are lazy as shit. Beloved in the building, Charles is here. Doe, a deer, a female deer, ray, a tropical sun. Me, a name, I call myself. A long, long way to run. Ooh, ooh, so a needle pulling thread. A note to follow. So tea, a drink with jam and bread. Pinky fingers bring us back to do, re, mi, oh, no, so. I saw that little pinky with the teacup. Go ahead, put the pinky in the air. Okay. All right. Pompous. The way we like it. The smear campaign. There are always going to be smear campaigns, but I think they're not going to be smearing like that no more. You need something to smear. You need a tool to smear with if you're going to smear something. But yeah, there's certain people of a certain vibration and level. I know when they're pissed at me, and I ignore them. They talk shit to me in the spiritual realm. These are actually people I'm friends with in the spiritual realm. They'd be like, you didn't have to da-da-da-da. And I'm like, whatever. I don't, I've had this. Oh, Will Ferrell and I go at it. What are you talking about? Denzel Washington? We go at it. But they're spiritually my friend. Oh, yeah. You've been served. Did I fuck up your day? Yeah, but there's certain people, they might be CEOs of company, heads of state, royal. I don't go knocking on these people's door. They don't want to be bothered. Why you think their wall's so high? Is she alone? Is she alone? Nala's with her. Okay, she can come in. She can come in. Hey, Alanis. It was nice talking to you too. I have noticed the energy really balancing itself nicely, my high energy. That's the thing about it, in regards to my progression online, I can actually feel it on my channel because there was just so much hateration. And the thing is, for a while, they were still mad about the fact that I had my shit in storage. They were really fucking mad about that. They're like, we're not going to watch your videos and have people do it so you can lose all your Versace and your YSL and, your Alexander McQueen. You're going to lose all that. They threaten me like that spiritually. Kamala does it. They're just mad because I haven't used it because I got it like that. I just collect my treasures and store them up. I have clothes from 2020 with the tags on from BB. I haven't even rocked. And I wasn't even thinking about y'all mother lovers. I used to work for BB. I was a stylist consultant when I was interning at Cargill, and then I would get off and work part-time at BB at the store. I never worked at Mall of America. I wasn't going to do that because of the energy signature. It made me sick. I wanted to vomit. I didn't like working at Mall of America. It's like a football field. Like walking there, it's just no. Like it was like for me at like 22 years old that I couldn't do it. I actually physically could not go work at a mall that big. Beloved in the building. Because it's Capricorn energy. That's why I liked going to Tyson's 1 in Virginia. Because there was no motherfuckers. Because everything was Gucci, Fendi, Prada. There might be like 3 people. 4 people. And they had the restaurants and shit. It made me feel regal. They had the legal seafood. I go to the Gucci store, buy a bag. Afterwards, I'm feeling myself. Legal seafoods. Bless you, beloved in the building. That's why I like boutiques. Or those outside malls and shit. Those are much better because I can breathe. Because you can get drunk off that energy. And that's why online shopping is great for me too, because I don't really want to see you motherfuckers. Because I'm not arrogant when I go to these designer stores. I'm not mean to sales associates because I was one. People want to be so abusive to people when they get money. You know what I mean? It's so weird. And there's some people, you want to knock them out. You're thinking to myself, you know what? I got this money. I'm going to kill you now. It's not like you flexing. You just delivering. If I'm going to use my power, I might as well fuck you up. But, yeah, I do that. But the voices, let me tell you something interesting. You want to get really deep? Ooh. I'm going to tell you something really, it's going to blow your mind. But there's some people out here that know what I'm talking about. Have you heard how my daughter speaks? It's so clean and childlike, pure and soft. You go to certain neighborhoods and you teach in those neighborhoods, and it's like a it, it and when you get the same child, like 6 years old, like my daughter, go to a certain neighborhood and listen to how that child talks. It's like it's atrocious. You can hear the ugliness when they're small. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can hear in my daughter's voice already, she has manners, the softness. And so you can already hear, yes, you are a fucking bitch. You raise your kids better. You can take my advice, okay? Because clearly you guys haven't been taking my advice. So you can call me a bitch because your child sounds like a hood rat. You can do that. But it does sound, it's a rat. It's a hood rat. So you can hear the hood ratness when they're 6, 7 years old because the mother sounds like that. So you can hear the ratness in the child already at 5 or 6. That's why I'm very weird about putting my daughter in certain schools, because I don't want her to hear that shit. Because with the talking comes the mannerism that's connected, and I don't do that fucking shit, because I'll beat your ass. I will fuck her up. Because I know children, they'll take what they got from school and bring it home. And then whatever is going on at home, they bring it to school. So it's a cycle energy. And if you don't like it, you got to break the cycle. That's why I left Alexandria, Virginia, and then I moved up to Fairfax. I lived right next to Fairfax Hospital on Anderson Street. So I knew back in 2019, you were fucking up. There's only one entrance in and one entrance out, Anderson. And then right up the street, Anderson, when I used to walk sometimes, there was the 7-Eleven. Virgo, what you hiding? Right on Anderson Street. I wasn't really going to tell nobody, but you motherfuckers are so nosy. You can Google me now. I'm famous, bitch. But yeah. And then I saw the candy canes too at the same time, the energy. And I already knew there was some Cain and Abel shit. And it had to do with Anderson. Because, you know, he's Matrix. He's so Matrix. Anderson? Oh, he's so Matrix. He looks like he came out of a Mattel box. You know what I mean? Like, he doesn't even want to look human anymore. You get people like that don't want to look human. Because, like, being human is weak to them. So they want to look like these all-powerful beings. But really, they're just these itty-bitty little shits. That's why, like, the more mature I get and closer to God, I be looking at these people like they're so fucking stupid. Like, don't believe the hype. They're not that tough. They'll mind fuck you. Like me, as a Taurus's daughter, I know Farrakhan's the truth. I know he is a real Taurus. Even Jack Nicholson, they're complete opposites. But I see the similarities in the energy. The communication. You never forget how they communicate. Beloved in the building. They're both strong communicators. They're both Taurus. There is opposition. But did they do their job well? Yes. Now, Chris Brown, he's not a Taurus to me. You know what I mean? He doesn't he doesn't listen to me. You know what I'm saying? And why would he? You know what I mean? So, like, you can give that man advice. He's never going to take it. You know? Like, I've never seen someone walk into an ass whooping every single time. And someone is just, it's almost like, this is what I see with you, Chris Brown. Jesus is at the door. He's like, don't go in there. Don't do that. And you go right through. And he's always at the door. Every single time he keeps trying to stop you. And your dumb ass keeps doing it. That's all I see. And then he has me telling you to read the Bible. You're stupid. You're so fucking stupid. And you think you can make fun of someone along the way. You really the Five of Pentacles. Y'all motherfuckers. Listen, y'all are the Five of Pentacles. Y'all are homeless. Because you don't belong to nobody. You're spiritually homeless. Emotionally homeless. That's why you guys come over here and you're mad and then you come here for a refill and shit and then talk shit about me. Y'all out here looking homeless. You just dress it. These motherfuckers, they're gonna find out. They're gonna find out. Cardi and Jennifer Lopez is big homeless. That bitch is big homeless. The more I look at you dance, the more I think, man, you just look so stupid on The Living Color. You really had to fly. They were like, bye. That bitch is just gonna fly away. You have no talent. That On the Six, everybody said you couldn't sing. But you knew that. That's why you married Mark Anthony. And he lied to you and helped your career and told you could sing. But you still can't sing. He actually still sings better than you. That's a true story. Everybody knows that. You still can't sing. That's why you fight so hard. Enough. But you do well in Central and South America. You know what I'm saying? We don't know you over here in Asia. We don't know that. They don't know you either. Because, they want cash. And you're a credit crisis. Yes, you are, bitch. You are a walking credit crisis, okay? Please. Let's not act like we did not see this shit. Oh, I don't mind that he was married. I'll go right behind her. We're keeping it clean. But yeah, that was just a special message that was requested. Yes, you can hear the devil. If you want to have a conversation with the devil, talk to a crackhead. It's scary though. I know some of you guys have had it. You're like, this motherfucker's on crack and said the most intelligent thing. That's a devil. That's the devil speaking. Because they switch up too on you. But the thing is, the intelligence is at such a heightened level that it's so weird that it's in that person. It's the same thing with me. It's how you look at me. It's like, I'm so intelligent, but my physical appearance, you're like, what the fuck? You know what I'm saying? So I know some of y'all were talking like she's a crackhead. That's why I had to tell people, like, my teeth are real. Oh, just lay it on them. Just lay it on them. Yeah, but I hope that answered some of your questions. Okay. I'll be here all week, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, that snake did really bite me, and look at me now. Look at me now. I'm working on my, transmutation of it. I never thought in a million years coming out of Texas, shit would actually be going down like this. Like, really? I am actually shocked. Like, because I can feel, like, Yeshua energy in my house. I mean, like, in D.C., they at least try to cover it. Massachusetts, they just try to cover it. But here, they don't even give a fuck. They will walk right into the store. You see the whole titty. I saw a couple of bitches in like a fishnet dress. She didn't even wear a bra. She just wore the thong. Just walking like that. And she was owning it too. She did some shit. Like, she really walked around here like she was the baddest. They really do. And I don't understand why they in Texas wear the shortest shorts. They just wear underwear. It's like, and they so unhealthy looking. They unhealthy. You know? They look so unhealthy. They fat and overweight, but it's that fat girl thing. I don't know what it is. But they do that. Like, it's like, man, you're gonna get a yeast infection. And the cheek is hanging out. They love that shit. You know what I'm saying? It's like, why does it gotta be that short, man? There is no camel toe. It just looks like a log. Because it's fat. It's just fat. And they really wear the bonnet. Like, we'll wear the shortest short and then walk out with the shower cap. I've never been a shower cap. I would like to tell you that. I would never stoop that low to wear a shower cap out like that. Because they get colorful too. They put like, you know, designs on them and shit. And they'll match them with the outfit. Don't ever get it fucked up. Because I saw a lady before we checked in while we were waiting for our room. She had the matching yellow bonnet with the Bart Simpson yellow matching dress. True story. Fucked up, but true. And she was walking like she was so sexy. Because she got a man. And she was pregnant. There's 2 pregnant women. They dress like that, man. And they won't even close the zipper with the booty shorts. They keep it open with the belly popped out like that. My child's father was like, "Don't show them titties," because I was like a B36 and I went to a D36, huge monsters. He was like, "Absolutely not." Yeah, it was crazy. My mom ended up taking my bras afterwards. That's when I started wearing bras. She came to my house, stole my bras. That was really fucked up because I might need them back. Eventually, OG gonna get some D's on them hoes. Woo! Please. I'm an African woman. I'm supposed to have D's. Come on, like, that's so stupid. That's the fucked up part about the whole situation. Motherfuckers don't know nothing. You impatient with the titties. Let them do its thing naturally. For real. I'm supposed to. Don't even. Y'all too concerned about my natural body. Don't even worry about that. But thank you very much. Good day.